Welcome, everybody, to tonight's city council meeting. We're glad that you're here. We're glad that you are in attendance. We see a lot of familiar faces this evening. Thank you for being here. All right, please stand for the pledges. I'm calling this meeting to order at 5:30 p.m. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Please be seated. Let me remind you that with a formal city council meeting, the rules of decorum are in effect. Please remain quiet during the meeting. There are 2 times in which you can give input. Once during the public comments, you'll be allowed to come up and speak for 3 minutes. Council can't respond to you. And then also during public hearings. Other than that, if council calls you up, then you'll be able to speak. All right, we have a quorum this evening, Alex. All council members are present and Councilmember Stevens, hi Rick, is online
Howdy.
on Zoom. Thank you for attending. Proof of notice of meeting, please, Alex.
Thank you, Mayor. Notice of this meeting was posted by 2 p.m. on July 10th, 2025.
Great, thank you so much. Alex, do we have any public comments this evening?
We do, Mayor. We have Richard Barches from Ward 5. And he wants to address regarding information item D.
Okay, great. So Mr. Bartras, come on up, state your name, your ward. You have 3 minutes. Council cannot respond to you. Okay? Yes.
Richard Vargas,
Oh,
Yes.
Mr. Bartras, come around the other way.
face you.
Yes, please. Sorry.
Okay. And my wife, Bridget.
Hello.
So we bought our house, 701 North Second, corner of Nations, September of 2004. And one of the things that really attracted us, Alpine, was, I'm an amateur astronomer, was the sky. And 17 years ago.
I hate to interrupt. Could we ask her to stand in front of the mic because I cannot hear it all, please? Thank you.
Okay, if you come around to the other side of the podium.
The other side.
Yeah, that way you'll be able to speak into the mic.
Sorry.
Thank
Is it
you.
better?
Much better.
All right, so 17 years ago, I built an observatory at our house. And the observatory it's a ranch house. Put it up on an 8-foot tall deck. And it has a fiberglass dome and a large telescope inside of it. And at that time, the skies were much better than they are today. Milky Way was very visible. During the spring, when a lot of the galaxies are visible, I'd be able to see them very well. But in the 17 years since, the sky glow has increased, and that's the worst thing for astronomy. So I have 2 issues that I'd like to talk about. One is the sky glow. So I think about 4 or 5 years ago, there was an ordinance, a dark sky ordinance passed, where residential and commercial entities would have to direct the light down at the ground rather than straight out or up to reduce the sky glow. So that pertains to all commercial businesses and governmental offices and agencies, and also all residences too. The other issue that I wanted to talk about is the impact that close-in neighbors have on my observing. So there are 4 commercial, well, actually 1 governmental entity, U.S. Marshals on Fighting Buck and Brown, have very bright lights. There's a Alpine Storage, really just on the other side of the fire department, and they have 2 very high poles with lights. There's also Alpine Laundromat on 118, also Big Ben Telephone on Brown. And those 4 commercials, plus there's 1 on Third, whose backyard facing the alley has a bright light on every evening. So with those close-in things,
Okay, thank you
It's
so
three-
much. That was your 3 minutes.
oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay,
We get the point. Thank you so much.
okay.
Stick around. We have more discussion this evening. Okay. All right, Alex, are there any more public comments? Okay, we're going to move on to public hearings. You will have 3 minutes if you are here to speak on an item. In the public hearings, you come up, state your name, your ward, and council cannot respond to you. We just listen. Alex, we're going to start public hearings at 5:35 PM. Public hearing A regarding the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-07-01 and ordinance amending Appendix C zoning to the Alpine Code of Ordinances, establishing proposed updates to include amendments to general zoning regulations, land use, acceptable uses, unacceptable uses, minimum standards, processes, permits, and general zoning issues in the city. Repealing Chapter 78, signs, establishing a new section in Appendix C, zoning, providing for the regulation of signs within the corporate city limits of Alpine, providing the establishment of up to a $2,000 penalty per occurrence for violations of the ordinance, and providing for the following: findings of fact, enactment, repealer, penalty, savings, severability, proper notice of meeting, and effective date clauses. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this? Seeing none, moving on to public hearing B, to obtain citizen views and comments regarding the first and final reading of ordinance 2025-07-02 and ordinance amending the city of Alpine fiscal year 2024-2025 budget, providing for the following clauses: findings of fact, cumulative, proper notice, and meeting and effective date. Is there anyone here to speak on behalf of this? Seeing none, public hearing C, to obtain citizen views and comments regarding special use permit 2025-07-01, a special permit allowing the applicant Alex Potton to establish a short-term rental at 208 North Cockrell Street. The property owner of record is PBE Services LLC. The parcel ID of the subject property is 10656. Is there anyone here to speak on this? Okay, seeing none, Alex, I close public hearings at 5:37 PM. Moving on to public presentations. There are no presentations and recognitions. There are no proclamations. Community interest items. Alex, each member gets 1 minute on the clock, starting with the mayor. So 1 minute on the clock, please. I just want to remind everybody that Viva Big Bend is next weekend, and also the theater production Cinderella is still running. So you still have an opportunity to go out to our outdoor theater in Coconut Park and see Cinderella. Okay, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. I have two announcements. The first one is, as a reminder, the Alpine Police Department offers a community service program called Operation Front Porch, where residents can have packages shipped to the PD. Information on how to take advantage of the program is available as a news article on the city website. And two, Alpine Community Projects is hosting a beautification project of their new city-sponsored location, the old schoolhouse, located at 205 East Sawross Avenue. And that'll take place on July 19th from 9 AM to 12 PM. It's a Saturday. Refreshments and donuts will be available. More information is also available on the city website.
Okay, thank you. All right, Councilmember Stevens.
I have nothing to add. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Escobedo. Okay, Councilmember Lucas. Councilmember Martinez.
No.
Councilmember Portillo.
Like the mayor said, my family and I went to the production of Cinderella. If anybody gets a chance, it's really neat. It was fun to go watch, and for the whole family.
Okay, thank you. All right, moving on to changes to posted agenda. Council, are there any items to be continued or withdrawn? Okay, seeing none, are there any items to be removed from the consent agenda? And with that, I wanted to remove from the consent agenda item E and item F for separate discussion. Are there any others? Okay, are there any action items to be added to the consent agenda, council? Seeing none, are there any time-sensitive items, council? Okay, seeing none. There were no time-sensitive items. Consent agenda. Alex, we have removed items E and F. If you would read the remaining items on the consent agenda, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight's consent agenda consists of A, approval of the July 1st, 2025 regular meeting minutes. B, approval of the excused absence of Councilor Richard Trujillo from the July 1st, 2025 regular city council meeting. C, approval of the appointment of Johnny Greenway to the Place 2 position on the Parks and Recreation Board. D, approval of the appointment of Kerry Wilson to the Place 1 position on the Hotel Occupancy Tax Committee. G, approval of special use permit 2025-07-01, a special use permit allowing the applicant Alex Ponton to establish a short-term rental at 208 North Carpel Street. The property owner of record is PDE Services LLC. The parcel ID of the subject property is 10656.
I need a motion.
Make the motion.
I need a second. Let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Council Stevens?
Aye.
Alex, council approved unanimously the consent agenda items A, B, C, D, and G. Moving on to the items removed from the consent agenda, I would like to consider them at the same time. I need a motion to consider items E and F.
Motion.
I need a second. Okay, so the reason I removed it is I know council really goes through your packets. I see your highlights. I see all your notes. I know that you're really looking at this. I just wanted to point out that our interim city manager, whom I call city manager in our meetings, is doing an outstanding job. Have you seen the amount of work that he is doing as you go through these reports?
He does.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I wanted to pull that out so that we could give you kudos for a job well done and for
Thank you.
taking on the extra responsibilities. And I know Alex is also a
Yes.
big part of that, so thank you,
Thank you.
Alex. All right, let's vote on items E and F.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens? Okay, Alex, council has unanimously approved items E and F from the consent agenda. All right, moving on to reports and presentations. Item A, Alpine Country Club Estates, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item A is update from the Alpine Country Club, and Amy White will be here presenting.
Awesome. Amy, come on up. Just be sure to introduce yourself so that we have it for the YouTube video.
Okay, Amy White, I'm the president of the Alpine Country Club. Each time good to see you guys again.
Good to see you.
Each time I come in, I kind of tell you guys how much money it takes to run the club, blah, blah, you know, we have been, making some repairs. We just replaced all the electrical on the well at Brown Street. Besides replacing the well a few years back, it went out, we replaced the electrical box, but other than that, I was just kind of, besides all that, kind of do something different, kind of tell you a little bit about what's going on. Right now is our busy tournament season. So the board of directors wants to thank you guys for all your support, in keeping the club running. The tournament season is underway. The two signature events that the club runs, kind of as a fundraiser for us, is the couples tournament, and we just finished the Legends tournament. That's our big one that we just finished up this past weekend. We brought players and families in, which I know provided a boost to the economy here. We had about 63 teams that come in. So that's 63 times 2 players plus possibly their plus ones. So possibly we had 4 people coming in for those teams. I'm gonna say just maybe 50 teams were out of town averaging. So that's at least 100 people we brought in from out of town to the club, at least, or to the city. I'm gonna say probably even more.
Great.
Just estimating 100. We're proud to be an active member of the Alpine community, and we always want to support the local kids or anything that we can to help out around here. I was not here, but we did host a July 4th community gathering at the club. I know that we did a scramble that Friday instead of that Thursday to get people out to the club, and I believe they made hot dogs and stuff after that for community members. We did partner with the 12 and under softball team and hosting a scramble for a fundraiser. That was just kind of one of the ladies were talking about up there, and we ended up making that happen where they did the Thursday night scramble and raised money for the 12 and under girls that were traveling to the tournaments. I think it was in San Angelo, but that was a really good turnout. The majority of our tournaments held at the country club throughout the summer also serve as fundraisers for other organizations. Like I said, we have the couples and legends. That's kind of for us to do. Everything else, we had the Soar All Sexes, which is this Sunday. We did the Lions Club. And I believe in 2 weeks, we do the Cleaner Almost Scholarship Tournament. Basically, we want people to know that this is also their club, but there's a lot of people that come out there that aren't members. But if you have something that you're wanting to use the club for, to possibly be a fundraiser for something, it does have to get board approval, so it can't be, I want to have a fundraiser for my vacation, for my family, something like that, but anything that we can do to support the community and the kids especially, we want to be a part of. So any ideas that you have or anything that we can do to help, like that last little scramble for the 12 and under, that was just a spur of the moment thing. It did end up going to the board quickly and getting approved just to help those girls out. So
Thank you.
even if you're not a member, we want you to come be a part of the country club, basically. And we want to also, hopefully in the next board meeting that I come to, kind of show you guys how much that we bring into the community,
Great.
how many people we bring in, and how much money that we help bring into Alpine on those weekends, on those busy weekends, especially these couples tournament, legends tournament. And we have started tracking guests that just come out throughout the year, having them sign in and trying to find out if they're spending the weekend, getting hotels, meals, any of that stuff. We're just trying to see how much we actually bring in to help the community. So I can tell you it was very, very busy this weekend. I've not worked that many hours in a while. But we
Great.
thank you guys for all the help. And I know that if something were to go wrong and we did need some emergency help, I would feel comfortable to reach out and that way we can keep that place running. But
Good.
we did finish up our membership drive. We were taking members for the past 3 months, I guess, with no initiation fee. That did end in the end of May, I believe. So I think we got 30 new members. So we're trying to grow.
Good. Yeah, well, I look forward to seeing that data, and I'm
Good.
glad that you realize that you can reach out to us if you
Yes.
need something. So thank you. And how's the hog problem?
Solved so far, hopefully.
Okay.
So I guess we kind of have the time frame when they will be coming back through next year, and hopefully we'll be making preventative measures that way that doesn't happen again. So you wouldn't believe how good those greens and look from how they were when those hogs destroyed them. But any questions you ever have, you are free to ask any of the board members. It's me, Melissa O'Brien, she's the local, Jerry Carvajal's on the board, Daniel and Adele McGee are also on the boards. Or
Great, thank you.
Okay.
Councilmember, stay please for just a moment. Councilmember Portillo,
Thank you.
Councilmember Martinez.
How much is the membership for you?
it depends if you're a single or a family. It's 113, I believe, for a family membership. And now we're back to having the initiation fee, so that would be another 100. So for a single person, I believe it's $97 a month. And if you play 2-3 times a month, you've made up your monthly. If you only play once a month, membership's probably not worth getting, but if you play 2 or more, it's definitely worth getting a membership.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Lucas,
Thank you for everything y'all do.
Councilmember Escobedo,
I like what y'all are doing, especially when you get the community involved. That's important. Thank you.
Councilmember Stevens.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Amy, great, you're pulling the data together. I hope to see some hotel occupancy tax funds request this next year out of the country club.
I think that's a good idea. We're definitely looking into that, but we want to have something to show you guys that we're actually deserving of it. So,
Yeah, no, that's good. You're doing all the right things.
all right, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Okay, reports and presentation. B, Alpine Volunteer Fire Department update from Chief James Etchison, City Manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item B is Alpine Volunteer Fire Department update, and I don't believe James Etchison was able to make it tonight, so we'll go ahead and postpone that item if you're okay with that.
Okay, I just heard from one of our volunteer fire department representatives that he is on his way. He's running late.
Oh, okay, well, we can postpone consideration to later during the meeting if you'd like.
Okay, so we need a motion second and,
Yes.
okay,
That sounds great.
so I need a motion to postpone until James arrives.
Make the motion to postpone it and allow Merge and Air to go, just flip flop them.
Okay,
I think so.
okay. Any discussion? Let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Okay, Alex, we're gonna flip flop B and C until Chief Etchison could get here. Council voted unanimously to approve that. All right, moving on to item C, update from Emergent Air, City Manager.
Thank you. Item C is update from Emergent Air, and this gentleman will go ahead and provide the update today.
Just come on up, state your name, who you're with.
Ma'am,
for the
all right,
record.
so I'm Vernon Washington. I am the supervisor for Emergent Air out here in Alpine. All right, so year to date, I'm just gonna give you guys some averages and then I'll give you the high months, okay? So for total EMS calls, we've averaged 90, with June being our highest month at 96 calls. For medical calls, we've averaged 48, with January being our highest call month at 53. With our trauma calls, we've averaged 26, with January being our highest at 27 calls. We've had an average of 16 no transports, with April and June being our highest with 18 no transport calls. For those months, we've averaged about 8 minutes from when we get the call till the time that we're leaving to go over to the to where the call is, and then our total time on scene has been about 10 minutes. Okay, and that's pretty much all I have for you guys today.
Okay, Councilmember Stevens.
No, thanks. Thanks very much for your help, Vernon.
All right.
Councilmember Escobedo,
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Lucas. Councilmember Martinez.
Hi,
Hi.
thank you for coming.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you still having that application that the family can pay for a year? Oh, to have the service for the family for emergency to fly whenever they need to?
That was a different company. That's not us. That I believe that was CSI. That's not
Okay.
Emergent Air, but
So they
I
are
will,
not
yeah.
in-
But
they're
I
not
will
finding
get
anymore.
with Walter and Amber to make sure that that's not us. I know that there's been like one air ambulance company does do that for the family members. Yeah.
So you only do and the insurance pay for the. flight?
Yes, ma'am. Or you can do a self-pay.
Yeah, and Eva, this is Rick. I know the insurance requirements have changed dramatically from the federal government. So while there is someone else who does offer that, it's not clear there's any good medical advantage for that today because insurance covers it. Yeah, and I had this discussion a couple years ago. We probably want to have someone come and explain that because it's not clear to me there's good value out of joining that program anymore.
And what about those who they don't have insurance?
Insurance, and we have the other insurance that goes along with that from an indigenous care standpoint that we all pay taxes on. So I believe most get it covered, but I'll do some homework and and I'll bring it back to city council for an information discussion item.
Thank you.
Rick, you might start with Judge Greg Hennington. He has a lot of information on the value of that.
Yeah, no, Greg and I have talked about it, and I've also talked to all three ambulance companies who provide air evacuation from Alpine.
Okay, great. Thank you. Look forward to hearing more about that.
Yeah.
Councilmember Portillo? Okay, all right. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you being here. All right, so we will just keep pushing Chief Etchison until he gets here, city manager. So at this point, we'll move on to information and discussion items. Item A, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item A is discussion regarding possible facility in Alpine for Permian Basin drug and alcohol testing. And the representative did inform me they were not going to be able to make it tonight, but they can make it to the next meeting.
Okay, so do we just want to put it on the agenda for the next?
I'll add it.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, moving on to information discussion. Item B, city manager.
Thank you. Item B is discussion regarding the city's outdoor lighting ordinance, also known as dark sky ordinance, and discussion of next steps regarding implementation, communications, and enforcement of the ordinance once the enforcement period ends in 2026.
And I see that our dark sky representative from McDonald Observatory is here this evening,
Yes,
Stephen Hummel. So can we go ahead and pull him up?
absolutely. And Chris Rucci.
Okay, and Chris, you want to come up too? Just both state your names and what agencies you're with for the record, please.
Thank you. I'm Stephen Hummel with McDonald Observatory, resident of Jeff Davis County.
And I'm Chris Ruggia, your Director of Tourism, and I serve on the committee for the Dark Sky Reserve with Steve.
Okay, you heard the public comment this evening. If you want to address any of those issues and just give us a general update, that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. So to give you a general update, if you recall, just some brief history. So back in 2010, Alpine passed its first outdoor lighting ordinance. That was, I will be blunt, mostly not very well followed. Then in 2021, the council adopted a new updated ordinance language, which is the current version. That version included a 5-year clause, essentially saying that any pre-existing lighting had 5 years to comply for the adoption date. The adoption date was July 6, 2021. So we have about a year, just a little under a year to get there. Previously, the city has sent out notices through various means to residents, reminding of this, but we've made some progress, I would say. There have been some businesses that have complied ahead of time, which is good to see, but by and large, there's still a lot of work to be done in terms of lighting to get to full compliance. We're still pretty long ways off, and with a year to go, you know, it's time to get moving. So to that end, any additional information that can be shared with residents about lighting practices would likely go a long way. The city has previously sent out some letters, and there's already sort of a template out there. Also, if you recall, about a year and a half ago, I gave a presentation to the council, kind of midway through the 5 years, 2.5 years in where we were. Everyone was on the council at that time, but the general takeaway was that over 90% of the city-owned lighting is already in compliance. So actually, that was part of a master plan goal for the Dark Sky Reserve, was to reach over 90% compliance within 5 years. We've already done that, but the commercial sector lighting remains an issue. The comment was brought up earlier of the U.S. Marshals building, and they'll say that during the Dark Sky event week at Coconut Park back in April, that we did with Visit Alpine, that particular building was really stood out as one of the brightest in town. That is a federal building, meaning it is technically exempt. Federal places will need some help, I think, from the council to reach out to them, because they will need to understand the community's perspective, what they're being asked to do. I have tried reaching out to them and have got no response. So those kinds of situations is where the council can really help.
Okay. All right, and an interest item, the state doesn't have to abide either, since it's, but TxDOT has started, and so I'm thrilled that even though they don't have to, they have started adjusting their lighting. There's a significant difference there now from just 6 months ago. So kudos to them. Okay, Councilmember Portillo? Councilmember Martinez?
When is the deadline that they have to change the lights?
It'd be July 6, 2026.
26.
So about
You have a year.
a year.
Thank
Are
you.
you still going around to the different businesses that aren't in compliance?
Yes, yeah. I've definitely reached out to many of the businesses in the area. You know, not all of them call me back, but absolutely, we've worked on many of them. So yeah, to the extent that you can share that my help as a state employee is always available. We do have a Dark Skies Initiative Fund, made possible through private donations to help offset the costs if there's a public interest to the lighting. And I'm always happy to lend my expertise.
Great.
It would be a fine for people that don't change the lights of that date.
Yes, so that's gonna be a responsibility of the building officials department. How you exactly?
More work for you.
She's here.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, it could.
Councilmember Lucas?
If you don't mind, please.
Yeah.
State your name and your department, please, for the record.
My name is Jessica Isley. I'm the building official for the city of Alpine. Good evening, everybody.
Good
So when it comes to dark sky compliance, it's a little bit difficult for us unless we get complaints. Because typically we don't work in the evening hours where there is somebody that's actually going around. We have had people put in complaints, submitting pictures. And so that is the number one way that we've been mostly getting our complaints. And then obviously anybody that tries to build anything or renovate anything, they have to be notified that all of that has to come up into compliance when they do a renovation. So just in our department, that's how we've been able to do those type of things. But in July 2026, it will definitely be an overhaul. It'd be the same thing like any other code enforcement thing. I do need to have a conversation with the chief about possibly working together with the police department. I don't see any other way of us being able to do like a canvas work of who's not in compliance unless I had somebody helping in the evening hours, unless we went out in the evening and did it. That's going to be a major issue for our department. But it would go through the normal code enforcement process where you'd send out letters, and then you would do certified letters and then be citations, and then they'd have to go to court.
So how does a resident make a complaint if there's a building or business or a resident that they think is not in compliance?
So an example given recently, the car wash was somebody had complained about the lights, and so we wrote them a letter and they fixed it almost immediately. Everybody has a different way of remedying the issue, whether it's putting a shield or changing out the light bulbs or taking, some people just take the light bulbs away altogether, depending on the type of, if it's a residence or a business. But more so it's education. We have a lot of people moving in and moving out. So new people moving in to the houses, they put really bright lights up. So I think it's going to be an ongoing effort. It's going to be really difficult to like get everybody educated, but I think working together, possibly Chief will do it with me, to have a
He
little bit
said
more help with the
yes.
officers. Because I really don't see any other way of doing it without that.
So if I'm a resident and I want to make a complaint, what do I do?
You would submit a complaint online, or
Online,
you,
City of Alpine website.
yes, ma'am. Or you can come into the office and submit a complaint. It is really helpful if you have pictures. That way we can go off of that. Is actually a major issue. Otherwise, we would have to find some way of getting that picture taken in the evening when it was dark enough.
Can I call you?
You can call me. Yeah,
Okay.
you can call me, email me. You can stop me on the road. You can do whatever you want. You can text me. Any way that you want to get the information across is fine. I just have to have a way of understanding that you're irritated with the lights. And then obviously pictures
Okay.
help.
Yes. Not at this time. Not at this time. Okay, Councilmember Lucas?
Yeah, so you already answered my questions, because I was gonna make the statement that when I was a building official, that's one thing we were racking our heads about, trying to figure out how we were going to track who is in compliance and who's not. And I was looking at just flexing hours, so I didn't know if you were gonna do that, or Chief Lasoya would be interested in having whoever's working evenings at least take pictures and write down addresses and get it over to you, or however y'all want to hash that out. That's between y'all.
Yeah.
But however we can support, by all means.
Councilmember Escobedo?
Okay.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. So if we do the simplistic view, we have roughly 2,500 water meters on our system. That says if we're gonna go through and look at all 2,500, that says we gotta look at about 200 per week. And Jessica's spot on. There aren't enough manpower hours to send Jessica out every night to go look. So Jessica, I think your approach using working with Daryl to come up with one makes sense. My perspective is you ought to focus on commercial first, residential second, because commercial tends to be where the major issues are. And I think would be helpful for council if you gave us a list of those who are not compliant, so that those of us who have businesses in our ward can go talk to those business owners, which I know nearly every business owner in Ward 5. So if you'll give me a list of those who are not compliant, I'll go talk to them. That ought to help reduce your workload, but I need some help from you all about where the compliance issues are. And I would suggest we're gonna go all the way down to the end of the wire this time next year. And we're still gonna have a lot of non-compliance. So the sooner we get started, the better. So Jessica and Stephen, if you can give me a list for Ward 5, I'll go talk to those business owners, get them worked. And I know the facility at the corner of Brown and Fighting Buck. I'll go work that one as well. Whether they'll be compliant, but it's a lot easier to sprinkle a bit of honey out there to help them get it worked than force them with a compliance action.
Chief?
I have a meeting with them on Friday. That's one of the topics that we're planning on talking about.
Super, thanks, Chief.
US Marshals?
It's,
Okay.
it's actually HSI, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, and sir, if you would like to come up at this time, you can come up. If you still have a question, yes. Come on up though and speak into the microphone, so for the record.
I just wanted to make the point that to counter the very bright lights that were, interfering with observing the neighboring 5 instances that I cited. I decided a few years ago to put up light shields, which are 4x8 panels around the entire dome, all 4 sides. So they'd be from about this height down to about here, so that sometimes I'm lower when I'm looking at the telescope. So that I wouldn't have bright lights in my eyes. And unfortunately, like the windstorm that we had several months ago, it took care of about half those panels, and I want to replace them, but I'm saying, hey, isn't that initiative coming into play now? So
Okay.
just want to make that point.
All right,
Thank you.
great, thank you. Okay, anything else, council? One more, okay.
Yeah, just to clarify my role as well, and for anyone listening, I will never, say, for example, complain about a light to Jessica, and that's part of my professional role is legally I can't. But I want anyone who I may work with to understand that I can work with you to find a solution. I'm not gonna get you in trouble, right?
Right, okay.
I will, of course, bring lighting issues to the attention of the city, if it's a city and property, a state, a federal example, but for private residences and businesses, I'll leave that to the city, to address on their own perspective.
Okay, good. That's good to know. Thank you, Stephen. Okay. Anything else? Oh,
I'll also follow up with that. I already know Jessica. She's very, very willing to work with anybody as long as you're willing to work with her. So if you need help with the lights, she will help you as well. And also point people to Mr. Hummel for assistance.
great. Thank you. All right, thank you very much.
Hey, Mayor, just a follow-on question. Did we put any money aside to be able to help residents get their lighting taken care of? Does anyone know?
The city of Alpine did not. I know that, okay, Chris Ruggia can answer the rest.
As I understand it, McDonald Observatory has money that can purchase lights, but they cannot handle any of the labor or the of electricians, et cetera, installation. So that might be a gap that could be identified. So if the city decided that you all wanted to budget something, that might be the area to earmark, because that's right now the gap. That seem accurate. And I just before it's over, I want to stress that as you all know, our dark skies are one of our greatest tourism assets. And so for any of the folks, the public that might listen to the video, this is not an onerous, law coming down on you. It actually is an economic development initiative that a survey that Brewster County did a little while back. 60% of the people surveyed said dark skies were one of the reasons that they came to our region. So
Right. And we are the largest in the
we are
world.
the largest dark sky reserve in the world and the only one that crosses an international border.
It's incredible. Something for us to be proud of, Alpine. Councilmember Stevens, please stand.
So I've been asked, do we require a permit if someone wants to change an exterior fixture?
No, we do not.
Okay, great.
Renovating a significant portion of the structure.
Okay,
Stephen answered that it's only if it is accompanied by a significant renovation.
Okay, super. So if someone change a light bulb going down or change a fixture to be able to go down and change 2700 Kelvin, and there's no other change to the building, we do not require a permit.
no, we do not. That's from our
Super.
building official. That's
Right.
right.
No, the reason I raised it, I've been told we do, so I just wanted to get it on the record. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, all right, thank you. Thank you so much, everybody. All right, so Chief Etchison is here. We're gonna move to his report at this time. So if you'll come on up, Chief, just state your name into the microphone and who you're with for the record.
For the record, I'm James Etchison with the Alpine Fire Department, Fire Chief.
Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always welcome to be here. I wouldn't say it's been slow, but it's been steady. With the rain coming down, and I'm trying to get it across the county. But even with the rain coming now, the rain's come down, our ground is soaked. And we're even a little bit of rain that we get is starting to pool on top. The burn ban's still in effect because it still burns pretty good. We've had a couple fires that have happened, but nothing's gone anywhere. It's just been in one significant area. So I know the city has a different burn ban than the county. You guys are on a constant burn ban unless something changes around there. With that, my question for, I guess, the council is, who do I contact in reference to the city burn ban to coincide with a county burn ban?
City manager?
So the city burn ban is set by ordinance, so it's permanent unless it's changed by another ordinance, but you would get with the police department.
Okay.
Take it home.
Okay. Cool. Other than that, our training has been awesome. And I just wanted to also throw in there that this year to date for grants, we are $125,000 shy of $1 million in getting grants. For the fire department.
Great.
So we've been killing it. Next year's not going to be that great because the reason why it was so high is because of the new trucks that we received, and those trucks we didn't pay for, so they were part of that big grant. And so we're going to continue forward, and we're hitting the end of our budget, so we're kind of calming down on spending a little bit until we get replenished. And then once we get replenished, then we'll start doing training more and more. We were approved for another grant for hazardous material training. And usually that class is about $4,000 for them to come down and do it. But I volunteered Alpine to be hosting it, so we got it for free. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Thank you.
it helps to raise your hand once in a while. Unlike what they say in the military, but other than that, any questions for me?
Councilmember Lucas? Councilmember Escobedo? Councilmember Stevens?
As always, thanks, James.
You're welcome, Rick.
Councilmember Portillo? Councilmember Martinez?
No questions. Thank you for your good job.
Yes, thank you so very much. Were y'all involved in today's train fire?
We knocked it out really quick.
That's good.
Yeah, we got on scene, and I know you've heard me talk about it before, is the F500 foam, or sorry,
Yes.
encapsulating agent.
Right.
We were able to get this train fire out probably within 10-15 minutes.
Good, that's
It was-
great.
It was really quick. We were able to, and it's because of the encapsulating agent. And the cool thing with it is we ordered it in the beginning of I'd say probably October, September of last year. And we ordered 20 gallons, and I think we've only used maybe 4.
That's great.
So it goes a long way, but we're definitely going to get a bigger stockpile of that stuff, because it seems to be working out very well for everything.
Okay, very good. Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much for being here.
Do you want me to stay up here for the next bullet?
Are we to that point? Okay, so yes, discussion item C, city manager, oh, no, actually, this is Councilmember Lucas. You would read that and then continue from there.
Discussion regarding the establishment of a burn house on city property located near the wastewater treatment plant for the Alpine Volunteer Fire Department to use as a practice, or to practice controlled burns.
Okay.
Yeah, so being on the volunteer fire department, I've had our first captain now, Zach, and he's mentioned that this has been used before, and that the volunteer fire department in the early or late 90s maybe, or early 2000s.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Okay, so I'm off, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Actually built this and they were using it, and then in the early 2000s, it was kind of done away with, that they weren't able to use it anymore. And so I wanted to bring it to y'all and see if that's something we can do. Again, after going through the fire academy, I can not stress enough how important it is to have a burn house. I learned a lot, and repetitions are definitely key for what these gentlemen and women in our volunteer fire department are doing. And I want to try and being in this position, trying to equip them as much as I possibly can for the best training so we can give our citizens the response and help that we can possibly give to the best of our ability.
So Rob and Chief Etchison, do you know what is hindering us from using this? Why we haven't been using it? What would need to be done in order to get it to where we can use it?
So a couple of the main safety issues. One, we'd have to go in there and take the remaining roof off of it. The roof was damaged in a storm. Don't know when. At some point in the last 10, 15 years, the roof collapsed. So we'd have to remove the roof. And the fire hydrant that's out front would have to get repaired because it just spews out, smells like methane. So I don't know what it's connected to or what's going on with that. Those two things are the main safety concerns. Everything, it's made of cinder blocks. So it's pretty structurally sound. We did a walkthrough of it, hit the walls a few times. And it's very, they did a good job putting it together back in the 80s. I know a couple of gentlemen that put it together, the late Paul Leffler helped put it together along with Hugh Johnson, who lives out off of Fort Davis. He helped put it together. And Paul wanted to see it revitalized, and Hugh said it would be a great asset to us, especially since they built it and it's not being used, just out there rotting. I know it's gonna take a lot of work, and firefighters know it's gonna take a lot of work, but most of the hard work will be done by us. Being able to clean out all the stuff that's inside, clean out the grounds. And then I'm also talking, I don't know if the pictures were attached to that.
Those, I was gonna ask, are these of it?
Yes.
These are of it current condition?
And like towards the end of the slideshow, I don't remember if I put them on there now, but it's an example of a roof that I was looking at. And if anybody's familiar with the American Legion and the roof they have over the American Legion, that tin metal roof, that's what I was looking at to get replaced over that facility. That way it's stronger. It's not made of, timbers are made of wood, so it's not gonna burn away like the old timbers did. Cause I think that's what caused the main collapse, was it got so weak from all the fire damage that it couldn't take it anymore. So that's gonna be a couple things that with our budget, we'd have to take care of. So it'd be the roof and possibly a dumpster, so we can start throwing stuff away and then get it hauled out.
So you're saying the fire department would take care of the cost and the labor?
Yeah, we figure out a way to finance that roof
Councilmember Martinez?
When will you start using it?
as soon as possible.
That's only that the city approved.
Yeah, I don't know what the city needs to approve on a shell of a building that's.
And just state your name again. And department.
Jessica Isley, building official, City of Alpine. The only thing that was brought up in a discussion with the utility director is the 06 ranch going into it. I don't know what contracts as far as what's allowable out there anymore, because it hasn't been used that long. So I don't know if that's something we need to look into before we make any decisions, because we don't want to mess with the contract that we have with them, because we're already using their property to get to the wastewater treatment plant. And so we just need to make sure that we're okay on the city side to use it for any other things, even though it was used in the past. I don't know if the contract's changed, and that was the only concern from the city that we thought of.
City manager?
We have an easement through their property. So I mean, we could pull that and review it.
Yeah. I don't want to make anybody mad.
No, right,
Yeah.
absolutely. Okay, Councilmember Escobedo?
I think we need to move forward with it. It's very important.
Councilmember Portillo?
You can move forward with it and get it going.
Councilmember Stevens?
I agree, move forward with it. James, how large of a metal roof you looking at? You know how many square feet?
Probably 1,800 square feet, maybe 2,000.
Okay, so it's not inconsequential, because you're gonna want, sounds like you want metal purlins up there along with the tin roof. I'll be back next week. I'll give you a call. Happy to take a ride out there and see what officer might be able to pick up I know there's some scrap tin we can probably pick up. I just don't know how much we can get on the Pearland side.
That works.
Okay, so next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
It's been sitting for 15 years. I think it's, I think you wait another week.
Yeah.
One more week.
Councilmember Lucas.
Did you price the roof that you were looking at, chief?
I did not. So I was going through pricing with American Legion. And I was hoping to get American Legion pricing since I'm part of the American Legion and we're part of the volunteer fire department. So I think they spent around 20,000 for their roof. So do you remember how much? Yeah, so I'm kind of basing off of that. So it was around 25,000.
And is it something the fire department's gonna put up, or we're gonna go outsource it?
I probably outsource it. I love our guys, but
All right, anything else, council? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
All right, moving on to discussion item D, Councilmember Escobedo.
To discuss regarding the pay rate for the seasonal pool employees and the necessity to alter the pay rate. So right now, the first year lifeguard is $10 and the second year lifeguard is $11. The third year lifeguard is 12 and the lifeguard manager is $13. I've always thought that that amount is really low. And to want to bring in lifeguards and a lifeguard manager to come in and or for them more to apply, I think we really should adjust the rates. And I'm not saying by a lot, just a little bit more. On our notes, it says that the previous city manager was gonna up the wages by $1. And that would probably be a good idea, just to give them that incentive to want to apply next year. I don't know about this year, if we're able to even do that. I would leave that to.
Well, we have a little less than a month left on the season, but we can certainly do it for next year.
For next year.
But I think that there's a significant number of issues that we want to tackle with the pool in general, and mostly it would be the leadership. Because we've tried a few different methods over the years, and this last time we had everything done at the pool. You know, they're all a lot younger. I think we need a recreation coordinator or somebody with a little more experience out there to run it on the day-to-day, and I think that will help with a lot of issues that we've encountered this year. So I think we have some work to do for next year already. But yeah, absolutely, a pay raise is good. It's not something we make money off of, certainly, and you know, the council is aware that there are significant, you know, costs coming up as well, to repair it, but we can definitely alter the pay for next season.
And I see in your notes that Soul Ross pays $12 an hour for their lifeguards.
Yeah.
So
And
raising that
maybe-
$1 would be reasonable.
Yeah, and I'm thinking that if maybe we raise it, or maybe even the lifeguard manager raise it a little bit more, maybe we'll get more adults wanting to apply. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
more responsible people.
Sure.
I agree. I mean, we can definitely raise it. And like I said, I think it's clear that we need somebody a little more mature with some leadership skills out there to make sure that everything is operating efficiently. There's quite a few areas I think that we need to address for next season. So definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Portillo? Councilmember Martinez?
It's a good idea to give it a raise.
Councilmember Lucas?
I'm with it as well.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yeah, I'd definitely raise it, and I think Gio will come back with a plan, but I would think you'd be want to paying the lifeguard manager a minimum of $15 an hour, and then we ought to increase the rest of the employees. With a month left, I'd wait to make all that happen, but I think we need to get ready for next year.
I
Thank
agree.
you.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right, moving on to discussion item E, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item E is to discuss the updated 2025 to 2026 budget and tax rate adoption calendar. And this one was requested to be added by our finance director. She was unable to be here today, but I've included the update in your black folder, just so you all are aware. We already discussed it last Tuesday special meeting, so I've completed those updates, and if you have any questions, you're welcome to let us. No.
So city manager, what were the changes, just to remind us from last week?
Councilor Stevens requested that we add the specific deadlines, that is required for the budget by the charter, and we did add that. And then the tax rate deadline, I believe, as well.
Okay. Great. All right, Councilmember Stevens?
So it's a little hard, Gio, to take a look at it because I'm not there and the packet was certainly void of any information. So I'd appreciate if you could send me a copy because it's kind
Absolutely.
of hard to make a judgment when nothing's there.
Right, absolutely.
Councilmember Escobedo? Councilmember Lucas? Councilmember Martinez?
No questions.
Councilmember Portillo? Okay. All right, city manager, anything else?
That's it.
Okay, so the next agenda item will be action items, but since we're nearing the 1 hour mark, we're gonna take a 5-minute break at this time. 6:25 PM. Absolutely. Okay. All right, it's 6:30. We're back in session. Action item A, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item A is approved the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-07-01. Ordinance amending Appendix C zoning to the Alpine Code of Ordinances, establishing proposed updates to include amendments to general zoning regulations, land use, acceptable uses, unacceptable uses, minimum standards, processes, permits, and general zoning uses in the city. Repealing chapter 78 signs, establishing a new section in Appendix C zoning, providing for the updated regulation of signs within the corporate city limits of Alpine, providing the establishment of up to a $2,000 penalty per occurrence for violations of the ordinance, and providing for the following: findings of fact, enactment, repealer, penalty, savings, severability, proper notice and meeting, and effective date clause.
I need a motion.
Make the motion.
I need a second.
A second.
City manager discussion.
Thank you. The council has discussed this ordinance quite a few times, and so has the Planning and Zoning Commission. It has been workshopped by our previous building official, who's now Councilmember Ruckus. It pretty much originated with him and Jessica Isley in the Building Services Department. I worked on it, Alex has worked on it, and we've had the city attorney review it multiple times. And we believe that it's finally ready for ultimate approval. So we've made all of the edits based on the last meeting. And do y'all have any questions?
Okay, let me remind council, this is our second reading of this. Councilmember Portillo, Councilmember Martinez,
Questions?
Councilmember Ruckus, Councilmember Escobedo.
Yeah.
Councilmember Stevens.
Time for a call for the question.
All right, let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens. Alex, city council voted unanimously to approve the second and final reading of ordinance 2025-07-01. All right, good job, council. Moving on to action item B, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item B is approved the first and final reading of ordinance 2025-07-02. An ordinance amending the city of Alpine fiscal year 2024 to 2025 budget, providing for the following clauses: findings of fact, cumulative, proper notice and meeting, and effective date.
Okay, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
I need a second.
I second.
Okay, discussion, city manager.
Thank you. This item is being presented for council consideration to amend the budget, and this would basically recognize some changes for two important initiatives. One is the routine airport maintenance program grant, and then the second one is the acquisition of the asphalt zipper and loader that was recently approved by the council.
Okay, great. All right, Councilmember Escobedo.
Do we need to make a motion or?
Yes, we already
Oh,
did
we
that.
did?
Yeah, sorry,
Sorry.
we're on discussion. I can come back to you.
Yeah.
Councilmember Martinez.
I think that if we need to do these amendments, they're for the good, so I'm go for it.
Councilmember Ruckus.
My only question, I think it was stated that, was it the loader that we were about 49,000 away from?
That is correct. So essentially, we are needing to figure out where the additional 49,000 will be paid from, but this is recognizing the amount that we financed.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-on question, where that money was coming from. But
We are actually still looking, and Victoria is going to provide an update on that soon. We were planning on placing the order for the second piece of equipment tomorrow, but we're needing to figure out where those funds are coming from, the remaining funds, before we do so.
And then have we got any updates on an ETA for our zipper?
We have not yet received any updates, but we can definitely look into it.
Councilmember Portillo.
He asked questions about your hands.
Okay, Councilmember Stevens.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. Gio, one of the things we have on our form, our standard form talks about, and this gets part of what the Robert was talking about, expenditures required, savings, budget, additional fundings, those are all listed as NA. And we know this is roughly a $750,000 expenditure. So at some time, you know, when you and Vicky get things settled down, it'd be nice to start seeing information there And then it's, while I'm in wildly in favor of getting the loader and the zipper, we have a fiduciary responsibility to understand where the money's coming from, and I have not heard an answer to that yet. So I'd like to say yay verily, but I don't know, if we don't know where the money's coming from, how can we pass a budget amendment and say we want to move things around without having all the answers to those questions?
Okay, so let's take a look here. So basically Victoria said that we weren't gonna place the order for the equipment until we did figure out the 49,000. If y'all are uncomfortable with proceeding with the budget amendment at this time, we can certainly just put it off till the next meeting. But at this point, you're aware of what has on her plate at the moment, so she's trying to actively work on getting an update as soon as possible.
So
Councilmember Lucas?
I'd really like to know where that 49,000 is coming from, where I'd be comfortable, so I think I'll go ahead and make a motion to postpone this until the next meeting.
Sounds good.
I need a second. Okay,
Please say-
discussion on postponing it to the next meeting.
yes, definitely.
Okay, Councilmember Stevens? Okay, let's vote on the amendment to postpone.
Aye.
Aye.
And Councilmember Stevens, that was it. Okay,
Aye.
Alex, the city council voted unanimously to postpone this until the next city council meeting so that we have a clear understanding of where the 49,000 will come from. And to dispose of the original motion, let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember
Aye.
Stevens? Okay, so Alex, we disposed of the original motion in favor of the amended motion. All right, great. So moving on to action item C, city manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Item C is approve the administration and administrative job descriptions for administrative assistant 2, administrative receptionist, assistant to the city manager, city secretary, deputy city secretary, economic development administrator, grant writer, and records clerk.
I need a motion.
Make the motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Let's discuss city manager.
Thank you. So as the council is aware, we did approve a compensation study in November 2024. And this is part of the process to get the job descriptions that match those pay scales updated. So this is the first round that I'm putting forward. It's the administration job descriptions and a couple administrative positions that vary by department. And then I plan on putting forward the animal services department at the next meeting along with the airport.
Okay, all right.
Do y'all have any questions about, oh, and actually I did realize an error on the assistant to the city manager position. That one should be non-exempt instead of exempt. And we didn't catch that till today.
Okay. Okay, so Councilmember Stevens, let's start with you this time.
Yeah, thanks, Mayor. So, Gio, a couple things. One, what I think I heard you say is this is the first round. There'll be a second round coming through with the next whatever time that's going to happen. So we've been working on this for some time. It's nice to see them come forward. I find it interesting that there's only one position on this list that requires a college degree. And one of the things I think council wants to talk about is what are the appropriate levels for college degrees, if any? They have preferred, but the only one that requires a college degree is the economic development administrator. None of the others do. And I don't have the right answer. I've not looked in detail. But if, in my mind, if we're going to up the game relative to those who are employees, we probably want to talk about that at some point, because right now I think there's only two positions in the entire city that require a college degree. One is city manager and the other is economic development. Am I missing something or what don't I understand?
No, you're not. And this was a conversation that I had with the previous city manager as well. It's just you go between wanting to have the college degree. I mean, I'm a proponent. I have a degree myself. Then you have, certain candidates that might really exceed if given the opportunity, or they might have a lot of experience. So either way the council would like to go, I can see definitely the value of having the degree, and I was a proponent of making it preferred or even required for the city secretary position. The job descriptions that came back from the compensation study, I think they were mostly preferred. So I mean, it's really up to the council. We can certainly implement, that requirement on any of these positions. The pay scale for the economic development administrator is on the higher end, and so is the city secretary. So I mean, I can definitely see making that, a requirement. But it's really up to y'all if y'all want to require it. I mean, I have no issues requiring it for any of these positions, excluding the entry level ones. I don't think that that would be a good idea.
So
Yeah.
Gio, right now, the city secretary position does show that you need a college degree.
No, preferred.
It does listed as preferred, but we can certainly make it required.
Yeah, the only two, Mayor, are in fact the city manager and the economic development.
Right, okay, yes, you're correct. It's preferred.
We can definitely make it required. That's no problem.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, I'm a proponent. I have a degree. I don't see an
Yeah.
issue with it. It's just limiting, if you ever got to hire for that position, they would need to have a degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thoughts, Councilmember Portillo? Councilmember Martinez?
I can see right here, assistant to the city manager. I didn't see the city manager position. Is that the administrative?
No, there is an assistant to the city manager here. Let me see what page that's on. So that's gonna be 241 of 258.
But
Yeah.
the city manager, it requires a degree.
The city manager does, yes, because you all approved that one on July 1st. That
Yes.
one does require a minimum of a bachelor's degree in business, political science, or related field. And then 3 to 5 years of experience. And that's the only reason it's not grouped in here is because you all considered it last time.
Thank you, Chair.
Councilmember Lucas?
Are these from Evergreen? Or
These
they
are
ed-
based
ed-
on Evergreen, but I spent a good amount of time going through them with a fine tooth comb and updating them.
Okay. I think, our entry level position for sure could require a degree, but I do think that the higher ones definitely ought to.
Okay.
For sure.
So we can require it for city secretary. How about the assistant to the city manager?
Yes,
Mhm.
Yeah,
I do believe.
I agree with that one. Councilmember Stevens?
Yeah, the assistant city manager to me is although it sounds like, was that exempt or non-exempt, Gio?
It should be non-exempt. We recognized that typo earlier today.
Okay. So my view, the assistant city manager or assistant to, it's not an assistant city manager, it's assistant to the city manager, which to me is more clerical. So I'm not fussed over that one. Is more the discussion about if economic, I think city secretary, city manager, and I think sometime, Gio, you want to bring back the rest of them. That might be, other than that, I'm okay. But I just want to make sure we raise the bar on those higher level positions.
Okay,
And
so
what about the grant writer?
Yeah, the grant writer, frankly, I mean, getting good grant writers, college degree would really be helpful, given the people they're gonna interface from, and they're trying to get money.
Absolutely.
okay, so make it required for city secretary, for the grant writer, and that's it, right?
In economic development.
And economic.
Economic developer, yes.
So we need to say so the assistant to the city manager, no?
It's up
Because
to
that's more clerical, is what they were thinking. What are your thoughts?
I thought they should. I mean, basically, my thoughts are probably the only one that shouldn't have a degree or would be the receptionist, but. I would think when you have an assistant too. And the assistant to the city manager who's more involved with the city manager should have some kind of a degree, even if it's an associate degree of some kind.
Okay, thoughts, Councilmember Portillo?
Come back.
Okay, Councilmember Martinez?
Oh, I was thinking with that will limit people to cover that position? If it's a degree required for the assistant to the manager?
But they are dealing with a lot of stuff. I mean, with everything they do, or they should be getting involved with everything that the city manager does, I would think.
They do.
I
have
mean,
access to
because
a lot.
before it was the city secretary, would work closely with the city manager.
And our current assistant to the city manager does have a degree, so. And in the past, it has been commonplace for them to have that degree requirement. The last version did have it as required, so it wouldn't be far-fetched.
Councilmember Lucas?
So with the assistant to the city manager being at a pay grade of 104, puts him on the low end of 36,000 and the high end of 54. And I think to require a degree with that compensation is,
Yes, I can see that.
yeah.
What are our thoughts on preferred, Councilmember Escobedo?
I still think they either need an associate or a degree.
Okay.
Cause
Get
they,
behind the assistants.
yeah, they should be willing to, well, they do, they're gonna work very closely with that city manager. And I would hope also, the city secretary needs help, they would be able to cross-reference with each other, cross-train them, whatever.
Well, going back, Mayor, to the, having the degree, if they're gonna do that, then you're probably gonna have to look at the higher end of the pay scale,
Right.
54, not 36.
Yep.
Having it, so
Okay.
that's where I'm at. If we're gonna go ahead and go that route, then you're looking at paying at the higher end.
Councilmember Stevens?
Yeah, I'm where Rich is and I'm where Rob is too. At the 104, I don't think a degree is appropriate. But if we're gonna require a degree, we're gonna have to up that salary to another level up to make it reasonable compensation, because the 104, it's down in the clerical area. So my put is city manager, city secretary, economic development, and grant writer. We pay them more, we expect more of them, and they get the opportunity, the lower level could come in. If they want to go get college degree, then they have the opportunity to go for those other jobs. But I'm where Rich is. If we're gonna ask the assistant city manager to have a college degree, we gotta jack up the pay, and it's gonna be higher than a 104.
So what's council's appetite for increasing the pay scale, pay grade?
Not right now.
I'll come
It
back to you,
wouldn't
Councilmember.
really be in alignment with the current compensation studies.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have been conducted with the market research behind it, which is okay. It's just that if we're trying to keep in line with what we're kind of trying to work towards, it wouldn't include all that.
And so did the market study state that they would,
Be 104.
The 104.
no, I meant for the college education, was that coming from that study? Is that pretty much a standard across the state for municipalities similar to ours that they would
According
prefer it?
to Evergreen and what they produced, yes. It was how do you say, a baseline of the target cities.
Okay.
Okay,
So do we feel comfortable with prefer, not required?
how many on council would approve preferred but not required?
And this is for the assistant to the city manager.
Correct.
That's where I'm at. I'd do preferred.
Yeah.
Preferred as well, but not required at that pay grade.
Okay. Okay. So in order to approve this, we need an amendment for, what, city manager for the degrees on city secretary, economic development, grant writer.
That should cover it.
And then we also need an amendment to correct the non-exempt to exempt.
So if we can get a motion to saying those three and then that amendment, then we
Okay.
can get that covered.
Okay, so I need a motion, please.
Mayor,
So
I'll make-
moved.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, I just said so moved.
Oh, no.
Okay.
So
I-
Mayor, I'll make the motion to amend the city secretary for requiring a degree, economic developer to require a degree, or grant writers to require a degree, and then to change the assistant to the city manager to non-exempt.
I need a second. Okay, any discussion on this amendment? Let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
All right, Alex, council approved the amendment as read by Councilmember Ruckus. Now we need to dispose of the original motion. Councilmember Portillo?
Yeah.
Aye.
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 Councilmember Stevens? All right, and Alex, we disposed of the original motion. Okay. And so were you able to get all those changes, guys? Okay, great. All right, so that concludes, yes, that concludes action items. Moving on to executive reports. Alex, city mayor has 6 minutes and city manager has 6 minutes with an additional 4 that can be given if needed. So for the city mayor report, I just want to once again say that Gio has done an outstanding job. It appears that morale citywide has greatly improved, especially in the utility department. And he's also leading by example of what we would like from our next city manager, which is to allow the directors to direct and to have input. He put together a stakeholders group of directors to guide us in implementation of smart meters, hopefully by the end of the year. And so I just want to give him kudos and once again mention that he's both doing city secretary and city manager. And that the next city manager who comes in, I hope will provide Gio with any necessary training and mentorship as he has requested.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
All right, and moving on to the city manager report, council. You can ask questions about any of the items listed in item I, since it is on the agenda. That way you will not violate TOMA, the Texas Open Meetings Act. So city manager?
Thank you, Mayor. First up on tonight's report, I do have a small street update. Public Works Director Eddie Molinar did report that they are continuing to make progress on work orders. And soon they're going to resume seal coating. As I mentioned last time, due to recent rainfall, we're about 3 weeks behind schedule. But once the weather clears, we're targeting completion of 44 blocks by the end of the year. The Parks Department they've been busy, they've been having to mow a lot due to the increased rain. And we're also working with a vendor who offered to donate and install shade canopy at the dog park. It's a project that's been in the work for some time. There has been some resident concerns about the status and the amount of time that it's taking, but it is a donor. So we're working back with that donor to see what we can do to get that moving along. It'll be a good improvement though. As far as the pool is concerned, we definitely have identified the need to hire some type of leadership role out there and make some changes for the next year. So we did in the past have a recreation coordinator position out there, and I think it would be a good idea to hire for that position again for next season. And then, as I previously said, the zipper and the loader, we did give an update there. Council postponed the budget amendment tonight, and then we are going to keep working with the vendor to make sure that they can meet that original delivery date of 3 months. Let's see. Once those have been received, we do plan to collaborate with Brewster County Road and Bridge to train and utilize that equipment for road work in Country Club Estates, which is sorely needed. So I'm sure everybody's excited about that. As far as wastewater and water, Utilities Director Mike Macias, he has reported steady progress. 6 of 12 meter reading routes are completed this month already. He's personally shadowing crews and completing routes to understand some of those operational challenges. 4 staff members will complete a basic water class by July 31st, enabling them to test for their D license. And then the TCEQ resiliency training for Blake is underway, and we're expecting him to be able to get his Class C within 4 to 6 weeks. So additionally, wastewater operations have been going well. Mike and Rich have been alternating weekends at the moment. We're exploring cross-training options to ensure proper staffing. And Mike is also negotiating a contract with Robbie Dominguez out of Port Stockton to provide the Class C license coverage. We have a draft currently under review by our attorney on that one. At this time, Mike has decided to just continue alternating weekends with Rich and then trying to cross-train individuals to go to the treatment plant. because it takes a certain kind of individual to be able to work in that environment, and he feels that cross-training, starting to cross-train for that position would be better than hiring just brand new. So that's his plan there. I did speak with Jacob and Martin, our engineer for the wastewater treatment plant. And they did report that the sludge drying beds are operational. And then we expect the clarifier equipment installation in September. So I'll be meeting with them a little more towards the end of this month to work on some more updates, to get some more updates from them when they're in town. As far as cybersecurity is concerned, we've entered phase 4, the final stage, and we're looking to be fully implemented by the end of this week as far as all our devices being covered and whatnot. And then the utility billing software transition, Carmen Rodriguez continues to lead that effort. We're still expecting to launch by October. And we are expecting the vendor to be able to do a demo with us soon that includes all of our data in the system. So that's exciting. Additionally, we do plan on doing a town hall or similar type meeting in September, closer to launch, like the council did express a desire for recently. As far as grants, we did get Marcy Tuck, our former grant writer, to come on board as a consultant. And her first day in was on Friday, and she's already assisted us with a lot. And we're really pleased with her being able to be here because she has such a personal knowledge of all of our grants, because she wrote most of them. And so we're going to continue to work with her on a focus on the Texas Parks and Wildlife grant. And then also we're going to ensure that our American Rescue Plan Act funds are expended by the deadline of December 2026. We've noted that that's pretty important to pay attention to going forward. So lastly on here, I do have an update regarding the city manager search. We've received 11 applications to date with 3 candidates fully qualified, 4 who did not meet the minimum requirements, and 4 pending completion of application materials. And so the city council, of course, did express a desire for the search not to be rushed and has requested input from the department directors in the selection process. I do have a directors meeting scheduled for July 21st, where we will be discussing next steps, since the council has offered to allow the directors to interview the candidates preliminarily ahead of the city council. And we do expect still to close the position on the Texas Municipal League website on August 1st. That's 30 days after it was posted. We'll keep the position open on the city website until filled. We'll proceed to finalize review of any pending application and conduct interviews at that time. And then we have provided the council with all of the applications, the spreadsheet used to track them. And if the council prefers a different process, just let us know and we can implement that process. Otherwise, that's the proposed plan that we have going forward.
All right, question about grants. We are fully in compliance now with the Pueblo Nuevo grant.
We're still working on making sure that we're up to date with everything. Marcy's been really busy. The first day was a lot of just meeting with everybody, seeing where we're at. This next week, she's coming in tomorrow. She'll meet with the chief of police, and I believe, or later this week. Okay, and then Adelina, she's also going to be meeting with her. We're still very much actively in the process of making sure that we're in compliance, but I'm confident that we are on a good track.
All right, and council, in regard to Gio's question about, do you want any other type of process other than the spreadsheet and what we have received regarding the city manager applications? Does anybody have any input? Councilmember Stevens?
Sorry, Mayor, I was trying to get unmuted here. So we just got it. So it's hard to make an assessment since we've only had it for a couple hours. So I don't, Gio, thanks for doing that. It's one of the things I had asked for. I know one of the things we probably ought to talk about as a council is how we're going to engage with people. We just want to make sure we don't get ourselves stuck, each of us talking to individual candidates, then sharing information. Otherwise, we run a potential risk into a walking forum issue. So we probably want to talk about our process for that. But thanks, Gio. And once I get a chance to take a look at it, because it came in about 2.5 hours ago, we'll get an opportunity. I'll get back to you. But that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Escobedo?
I do think we need a little bit more time to look it over.
Okay. Councilmember Lucas?
I looked it over. I appreciate you sharing that drive with us. It's pretty clear cut and dry. So I'm game with the process that you have implemented right now.
And I'm fine with it too. I think it's very good.
Okay.
Councilmember Martinez?
Yeah, I think the process is okay. I just got it today, all this information that I have to read. So, yeah, we need a little bit of more time but the process is good.
Councilmember Portillo?
I looked it over. Good.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I think if anybody from council receives any emails or information from a particular candidate, please forward it to Gio so he can share it with the entire council. And that will help with the walking quorum and the Texas Open Meetings Act.
Yeah, I think part of that too, Mayor, is that sharing the information is terrific. We just have to watch ourselves in terms of having dialogue individually and then sharing that with other council members, which is the concern from a walking forum standpoint. So we just have to be sensitive to it.
Right, yeah, it's a good reminder. I think council's aware of, you've all completed the training, you know what a walking quorum is, right? Okay. All right, thank you for the reminder, Councilmember Stevens. All right, anything else for the city manager?
That's it.
Okay, councilmember comments, Councilmember Portillo,
No, ma'am.
Councilmember Martinez,
No comments.
Councilmember Lucas.
Thank both of you for everything that we're doing. Taking in the extra workload y'all taking on. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Alex. Councilmember Escobedo.
I also want to thank y'all both. Y'all are doing an excellent job. I don't know how y'all are doing it, but y'all are doing an amazing job. Thank you.
Councilmember Stevens.
I just want to echo the responsiveness from Gio and Alex. Everything I've sent in comes back pretty quick. So thanks for being so responsive.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
You're the fantastic team.
Yes, you are. They're a fantastic duo there. All right, so this brings us to item number 14, executive session pursuant to chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code. The City Council reserves the right to convene into executive session from time to time as deemed necessary during this meeting for any posted agenda item or to receive advice from the city attorney as permitted by law. Tonight, the City Council will recess into executive session pursuant to chapter 551.071 consultation with attorney and 551.074 personnel matters. May I have a motion? May I have a second? Discussion? Let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Stevens?
Aye.
Alex, City Council votes to move into executive session at 7:03 PM this evening. And Walt, if you would kindly wait in the break room during the personnel matters or maybe some questions for you. All right, thank you. Okay, and the door's unlocked. Thank you, Abel. Okay, may I have a motion to reconvene into open session? May I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
No.
Let's vote.
Aye.
Aye.
All right, city manager or council has decided to reconvene into open session at 7:48 PM. Is there any action after executive session?
No.
Okay, no action after executive session. With that, I adjourn the meeting at 7:49 PM.
Wow.